Welcome to Remember Your Source. I'm Julie Delene, the host, and I have here my friend and colleague, Mary Zelmer. Mary and I met a number of years ago when you had asked me to speak at the QiGong Connection.
Right.
And you started the QiGong Connection.
Right.
And I'm so grateful for that. And it's a monthly program that we go to and we practice QiGong. So Mary, tell a little bit about yourself.
I started Qigong probably about 20 years ago. For me, Qigong was, well, of course, the Qi is energy, and it's like the ocean. And Qigong helped me to learn how to swim in the water. Once I learned how to swim in the water, then I was able to start learning how to master moving energy, feeling energy, and working with energy. And so basically that's what I do throughout my day. It's become a way of how I live, and much more than a practice.
And you started QiGong Connection in 2010.
Right. So I had someone come ask for a Qigong group that was not associated with any business or specific Qigong. It was a community-based Qigong group, and we meet in St. Paul and once a month to support people in their practice and to hold the energy for any healing or needs that people have that come.
Nice. And I learned Qigong from the standpoint of the word Qi means life force, and Gong means mastery of it. Right. So the mastery of this life force.
Mastering your life force. Yes. So yes. What that means to me is when I started this, there were places that would affect me, like hospitals, cemeteries, large groups. And now I affect hospitals. I affect different areas. I affect groups. It puts you in your power and in your place.
It builds your ecosystem, as I call it. Yeah, it develops your whole system.
It does, and your way of life and looking at life.
Yes.
So there's never anything I can't do to help someone. So I really like it.
I always start each show with a little bit of a meditation and a connection to gratitude. So let's take a pause, everyone that's listening at this time, and the two of us will pause and breathe, make that connection to this primordial life force. So feeling the breath coming through and feeling gratitude for that. And I feel gratitude that you're here. She's right here, right next to me. It's not a distant thing, so we get to play together right here. So thank you, listeners, for being here. And I'm just grateful, as always, for this moment, for this time to play. And we get to play together.
I'm really grateful, too.
So with that, I like to also ask right away, how do you remember source?
How do I remember? When I work with people, I work with their source. So some people it's inside their body, some people it's outside, some people it's in nature, some people it's religious figures. I remember someone talking about energy being a vessel, and I never quite understood it. I understand it now. I feel like I'm always working towards being an empty vessel so that whatever energies I need will come through me. So I don't have a specific source.
And the other way I've described source is to talk about the breath being this primordial life force and that source of life, that spark of life that comes into us. So with that, I know you have that in spades.
I do.
So anyway, I think we kind of talked about that, but let's start the game, the very first phase.
Sounds
and this
good.
is based on that whole ecosystem that we play with in our natural system.
All right.
So
this is the map card.
This is the very first phase of being present to who you are.
All right.
And understanding. So this is fun. So the part about this card, this map card, is it's an expression of anything around you that is connected to you is also an expression of your life force. So identify an item or piece of furniture or art in your home that you do not like.
That I do not like?
Yes.
Oh.
And describe its qualities and attributes.
Probably the TV set.
Yes, right.
Its qualities and attributes. I feel that it when you turn on the TV, it's like you're inviting all those people into your home.
Right.
And so I'm very careful about who I invite into my home. So I'm very careful about watching TV specifically.
Yes.
And I feel like it's not a harmonizing piece per se, even though I do learn a lot by watching some things. I would rather have it in the basement. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
So the question continues with explain how this reflects who you are or how you manage your energy.
Right. It probably reflects that I like to stay inside and manage my energy. Watching TV pulls you out. And if I remember correctly, the way the lights work with the commercials and stuff, it stops your brain from working where you can't have output, but you only can have input. So I basically like to stay in myself, inside myself as much as I can.
Much more in tune. And that's a sense of presence. And that's what this card, this phase is about, is how to get back into sense of presence with yourself, which is what I think QiGong does such a lovely job to get you much more in tune with your energy, your life force, your primordial life force, your breath, and the spirit of life. So getting in touch with that a lot more. So
and QiGong actually means breath. So
nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. So then we move on after you get a sense of presence of who you are and what you don't like. TV. Then we open ourselves up and go to the next phase. And
all right then.
Yeah. So nice. Identify 1 to 3 questions to help you open areas of confusion or concern. So around the TV, you know, identify what questions you would have around that. Why is it, why does it impact you? What is concerning about it? And in ways you've answered it, but how would you like to take whatever the TV represents, which is something that pulls you outside of yourself, and then turn that around into questions.
I guess my first question would be, what benefits can you get from it? Because it is in our society, everybody has one, maybe even more than one. So my question would be, what are the benefits of it? Because there has to be something there that people need.
Yeah.
My second question would be, is it possible that it's beneficial and then there's a point where too much is limiting to us, or does too much start to drain us? That would be my second question.
Nice.
My third question would be, in terms of healing, are people who appear on the screen needing help? And so those would be my 3 questions.
So turn that around from not just talking about the TV, but any kind of a concern that you have, and use those same questions. Do they need any healing? How much time is focused on
balance
versus staying inside? I don't remember the first question.
What was the first one? What
are the benefits?
What
are the benefits of knowing this person? Maybe there's a concern that comes along the way of a person who's draining your energy. And so looking at it from the standpoint of, what are the benefits to this person? Like the TV. What are the benefits? And then turning it around and saying, yes, is there healing that's needed? And so when there is that push, that pull from somebody, knowing that that's part of, that they're just requesting love. They're requesting some healing.
Yeah. And I think in terms of QiGong, you would feel if there's energy coming out. So that would be giving, or if there's an energy needing to be given to.
Yeah, so along those lines, the question was really around that balance, how to stay balanced when things are pulling you outside of yourself. That's a huge concern in our world. And I think QiGong does a really nice balance of that.
Yeah,
learning that.
It keeps you in line with your true self. I was just reading something about alchemy, and they talk about as far as auras go,
Mm-hmm.
keeping the light in your body. Because if
Mm-hmm.
your aura is brighter in the front, it means you're too much in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's brighter in the back, it means you're too much in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to remember that to stay aligned with the present.
Absolutely.
As I go through my day.
And that's a good quality to have, a sense of presence. So then we move on to the third phase, and we say, now what's emerging from this conversation? And
I love picking cards.
I know. So this is the third phase. So if you had to draw a picture, or you had to identify a vision of what's emerging right now in your mind's eye, what would that be?
Right. That's a big one. I'm working with 2 little grandbabies now. One's 4 months and one's 6 months. What I see coming there is these babies are natural healers.
Nice.
And it basically depends on which way their parents take them.
Mm.
But one baby, I was watching a show where a woman was giving her story, and I could feel the little 4-month-old already working on the woman, which really, really surprised me.
Wow.
They're both very connected to trees and nature. And so I think there's this powerful force coming with these babies. And other things I see people needing, now's a good time to acknowledge your power.
Yeah.
And it's a safe time to do that. It's a good time. I see nature wanting to help us more, becoming stronger, reaching out to us, and the animals. Animals are doing that also. We're getting a lot of support right now to do these things.
This is really good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very good. It's been lovely to have you on the show and talk about this and hear about QiGong, the QiGong Connection, and what you're doing and what is possible.
Right.
So thank you for being here, Mary.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Have a good night.